So I'm not going to start with, hey there, YouTube friends. I'm going to try really hard.
That's right.
That's right.
It's a different show.
Know my place, bish.
It's a different show.
It's not on my channel especially, so.
So don't be fucking it up.
God, we're going to do this all over again. Son of a bitch. Hey there, guys. Mass Bandit here, and we are at the end.
Yeah,
we're
done.
We're done. It's fine.
We've been done for the past 4 episodes, but hey.
This is all for you guys.
Yeah.
It's for all of our loyal fans. But this is Planet Brocoaster, episode 42.
You had to think about that for a second.
I've been doing Planet Zoo a lot lately. But no, this is Brocoaster episode number 42, the big 4-2, the big end.
That's right. This is the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything.
At Brocoaster. Oh wait, no, 42.
Yes, 42.
Got it.
In terms of ending this series, we're going to do the same thing that we did while we were doing the series, and we pretty much farmed out the content to you, which you gave us a bunch of questions.
That's good. That's clever. Yeah, that's right. We didn't want to do any work. We just told you to do it for us. So we asked on the server, on the BroNation, on the Nash, we asked people for questions, things they wanted to know about Brocoaster, behind the scenes stuff, and we got a list of lots of questions.
Some really
we
good
didn't
ones
pick all
too.
of them. Yeah, some really good ones, some really not good ones, but we only picked the good ones. So.
All right, let's get to the questions.
Yeah, let's get to the question. So I'll just read the question, and then we will go ahead and answer them, I guess.
Yeah,
This is just
because
really
I guess
like a
you're the big
broadcast.
spoon. So
I'm the leader, but that doesn't make me a big spoon. Little spoons can be leaders, too. That's a t-shirt. Little spoons are leaders, too.
is it really?
No, it needs
Oh,
to be.
okay. There you go.
Here's our merch.
That's gonna be the merch store we never opened up.
It's because it was a big spoon job. That's why.
All right.
All right. So if we had the time or the drive, what would we change or add to NoNameLandia?
We
You
definitely
go-
had that loop support. I mean,
Yeah, if we had the time, we would. I'd still like to take a look at the Frontier Village. That never sat right with me. It still feels weird. Everything else feels so well placed, and then that doesn't at all. So, for me, that's what I would like to change.
I mean, psychologically, I made it that way so that you would feel inferior.
Well, good job. The one area I had my hand in the most is the worst. Yes.
Had we had the time and had the park not been in a state of jitteriness, I think the park really is missing a dark ride of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I guess I'm equating this like Six Flags types of parks. I guess until recently didn't really have those, did they though?
Yeah, it's more, and really, yeah, you kind of have to do either like a shooter or some really basic type dark ride.
Yeah. That's a good call.
But this park is a mixture of, what did we say? It's like Dollywood, and Dollywood has some pretty old school dark rides.
Okay. Does it? Are you sure?
I think so. It's the one that has like the mine ride that
Mystery Mine or whatever?
No, the one that is actually like underneath the ground that you have to go to get to. Maybe that's Silver Dollar City. I don't know. It's some
to get to.
I don't. It's.
All right. Let's move along. So what would the next big attraction be? Timeline or history? Like, if this park were real, what would the next big attraction be? I think Logic would. What's kind of cutting it? If we could do it, one of those stupid. Is it Intamin, Spike, Impulse? Those are big right now, but an RMC.
It would probably. Okay, here's what I think it would have been. Phoenix would have been taken down. Phoenix or Viper. And it would have been replaced with a Mach multi-launcher or a Intamin multi-launcher.
Okay.
With
I
that
thought
swingy bit in the middle that like where the train doesn't clear the top element and then it swings back and then it finally clears the top element. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking. The spike thing. Let's go into Busch Gardens right now.
Yeah. Pantheon
with the
or something like
track
that.
and all that. Yeah. I think that would make the most sense timeline-wise, just because that's what most parks are doing.
Well,
or
and
RMC.
it would make sense in the demographic too. It's not so intense, but it's enough of a cool element to drag people in.
Yeah, we don't really have a launched. I mean, we have the semi-launched Wing Rider, but we don't have a. Do we? No, we don't have another launched coaster.
No,
Just there you go. So yeah, that would fit a need. There you go. So, what was the largest change in plans from beginning to end, I guess? Our jank.
Yeah, I guess the budget of the park increased quite a bit.
Yeah. We originally wanted to really do Holiday World, and that was our start. And then we started actually looking at Holiday World, and we did. Oh, I don't want to build that.
I was still down for it, but it was Ryan. It was Ryan that changed it for us.
Yeah. He went way more Silver Dollar City or Dollywood-esque in theme, which I think was in the long run better because it allowed us to flex our creativity a bit more. It would have been really. Well, remember how we felt with Summer or Southside being so stark and like, oh God.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole park would have been like that, and that would have been kind of gross.
Well, and we started to understand that the park that we were creating was something a little bit different than what was being shown on other kind of YouTube videos, and we thought that we had something a little special, so we wanted to add a little bit more sauce to it.
Special sauce.
Special sauce.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest change is just the overall focus and direction of the park. Because it was pretty much free form, and we had very loose, vague ideas of what we wanted from the start.
Yeah.
But we didn't ever have like a concrete plan. Like, we're going to put this, and this in. We knew about how many coasters we wanted.
You know, I wanted Drinky Bird Park in Avatar Land.
Avatar!
All right, moving on.
All right, so what's your favorite inside joke of Brocoaster? Of all the stuff, what are some of your favorite inside jokes?
This isn't really an inside joke, but I just love when you tell me to shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
I also love the times that you just ramble.
Story time with John?
No, like so let me know when you're
you put it to music and you
For episode 38, this is episode 38, Planet Coaster.
It had been so long since we'd done one of those.
Oh, you stumbling on your words is amazing.
My favorite cold open is still where we're talking about killing the neighbor's dog. I, the killy kind. How many pills are we talking here? And it's so nonchalant.
It's so nonchalant and deadpan. That's what makes it a little disturbing.
A lot of freaking hot dogs. I love it. I love that so much. And I love forever ass.
I mean, I like whenever freaking when you tripped up and called Ruble mineral. That was fun. And then
For like 4 episodes.
Kinderbots stuff is fun too.
Oh yeah, like these aren't just not even inside jokes. Just they're almost memes of the series now.
Kind of.
Yeah. I like all those better than Cacao actually. Like Cacao is funny and cute, but I like all that other stuff is much better.
Well, and lighting stuff on fire is fun.
I didn't appreciate it while it was happening, but when I was editing that episode, I was like, okay.
It's fun.
It was. And then lighting. I got to go back. I forgot to save it, so I'll have to go back in and light the
light the info kiosk on fire again.
Release. Yeah. So, what's the most used or the most useful scenery item in the park? I don't even... Probably, I would say windows as walls, but we didn't do that as much as
no, because we're pretty much on grid for most of the park.
Art shapes, probably some of the art shapes, especially for some of the once we got into the corrugated roofing, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I would say the curbs and like all of the things that made the curbs. Mm-hmm. That's probably the most used piece.
Oh, like custom curbing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of those posts.
I mean, I always find the most useful pieces are the big concrete pieces from Adventure.
Yeah, those were really helpful. And that's hard because like you think about some of the domes or some of the roofs that Rubel made that were custom. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, so just by number, those would be the most used. But
oh yeah, like the single bracket pieces for custom roofing. Yeah,
the smallest of the pieces that are provided to us are always the best and the most functional. Mm-hmm. And you see Silverette doing it in his most recent Planet Zoo videos. He made an entire pagoda out of the letter E. I mean, of course he did.
Sounds like a Sesame Street.
Today's pagoda is brought to you by the letter E. E is for elephant. Echidna.
E is for exhaustion.
E is for exotic. If we built NoNameLandia and RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, would it be how would it be conceptually different, and what would be the biggest differences?
It would not be as mundane as it is, because a lot of the pieces and a lot of the custom scenery ended up being quite thematically driven. And then also the other big structural problem with RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 is that you could not have a full park. So we had to break it.
Not the way we build.
We would have had to broken it up into different park files. And so that would have changed the structure of the park dramatically.
I hated that. The minute I had to do that, I hated playing. It made it so much less fun because you didn't have a full park anymore. And that's what it's always about. That's what I love about Planet Coaster. One of the things I do love is that while it grinds and my computer fan hates me, I can run an entire park, and I can see it all, even if it doesn't. I have this little model of a fully built, fully realized theme park. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And then also RollerCoaster Tycoon, you only had grid and then 45 degrees. Mm-hmm. So that really would have limited a lot of it would have really structured the layout, I think, a lot more.
Well, and terrain was kind of out of the question, too, because it was so hard to get terrain to match up in RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 because it was all gridded based. All cubes.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Man, that's crazy. It's only been 3 years, but yeah, it's a lot of differences. It would have been flat, probably completely flat.
Probably completely flat, yeah. And then, just the interweaving of NoNameLandia it would have been impossible. Even the best parks in RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 were big blocks, usually.
Yeah.
Because you had to break them up into sections because you couldn't have too many park file, or you can have too much stuff in a park file before it started to break down.
Yep. And you would always know because you'd go to take a picture and the picture would be 0 bytes. And that's when you knew.
That's when you knew that
too big.
You were done.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your park had reached its limit. And it was always, and once we got to the point where we're just lathering on the detail, it was always like, you get a main street done. It's like, well, time to move on. Yeah, that sucked.
So that's the big difference between the two.
Maybe that's why we never teamed up before now. We kind of always in the back of our heads knew we would never be able to finish something.
Kind of, yeah. Well, yeah. And also, I had extreme control issues.
Yes, you definitely did.
Go to hell. I feel like I have relinquished a lot of power over this process.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And that's one of the questions we'll talk about near the end there. So what happened to the original idea of Season 2? Season 2 was going to be a smaller, what are those called? The real small, fancy, super detailed parks, like a Discovery Cove or something.
Okay.
What are they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought they had a name. Okay, never mind. So Season 2 was going to be a master planned park.
Yes.
With each bro getting a land. Mm-hmm. And somehow we were going to try and theme them all together. Mm-hmm. And we even had like concept art, so we had done some testing in game. Mm-hmm. And then the shelf life of Planet Coaster hit.
Kind of, yeah.
For a lot of people.
That's really kind of what decided us not to do season 2. Mm-hmm. It was, so it has to work. Like, we enjoy doing this. Don't get us wrong. We enjoy doing this. But it has to work for the side hustle that we've set up for ourselves, because we are now adults. Some are more adult than others.
By name and age only, but hey, whatever.
So we have responsibilities, and so doing this, part of why we enjoy doing this is because it actually is supporting a side income. And so as it becomes less popular, and as we see the results of Planet Coaster kind of fall off the map, it's not doable to put all of our effort towards a really it's really hard to do, let's say, 42 episodes of a really highly edited show. That's why it sometimes takes a long time to get these
those
things
Brocoasters
out.
They take days to edit, and when you're working a full-time job and you can only put an hour or so at a time, they take days. Absolutely.
And I don't want to. I don't want to take the magic and the fun and like the fact that this is a hobby out of it. But there is that component of it that did decide that I don't know if we can keep all these people together. And I don't necessarily want to build this park with only 2 people. I mean, we probably would have found guests and stuff like that, but the focus of season 2 was going to be this kind of multifaceted, every bro gets their own, and then they would decide who they want to work on it. Well, if that chain breaks, then the season kind of falls apart.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it took us just this took us forever. The long hiatus was because we didn't want to work on it. And I mean, just to be frank, out of all of us, none of us really wanted to touch it. Mm-hmm. And that persisted for months and months and months. Mm-hmm. And it was Cedar Point that made us get up off our ass and be like, let's finish this.
Yeah, pretty much. And also the incoming deadline of Zoo certainly helped too.
It was like, well, we need to be done with this, yeah. Because it's not official, but it feels like in a month, Planet Coaster's dead.
Right.
To the frontier, like to the greater populace. BroNation is still going to be a Planet Coaster server first and foremost. I mean, RollerCoaster Tycoon was going for 12 years.
Mm-hmm. 13, 14, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, 13 or 14. So we're not going anywhere, and we're still going to be building theme park games, but we're not going to be doing a Brocoaster series in a theme park. We've done it. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Let's do something different.
Not until Planco 2. If that ends up being something that we can do. I mean, I don't really know.
And that would be a good time, actually, to probably look into doing our original idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah. So never say never. Dreams do come true.
It's not that we don't enjoy doing this. Like, you have your own projects. You got Summerdale, I've got my projects. But it just has to work in the context of a structured life.
Mm-hmm. And when you get something as big as Brocoaster, the expectation of regular uploads becomes a thing. Mm-hmm. And as much as people were #joking, it's joking, not joking is what it is. Yeah. It's the expectation, and like all the memes and stuff. We're joking, but there's always truth in those things.
Oh yeah, there's definitely,
and we all know it. Yeah,
it's like oh no, I'm totally joking, but also we put it back into your brains, like, oh hey, there's still no episodes. Like, we know, we're aware.
Right. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I tell you what, I am more excited to do a zoo for a season 2 than I am to do a highly themed theme park.
Yes.
And that's why we're going to do that.
Yes, exactly.
So what part of NoNameLandia are you most glad you worked on, and which are you glad that you really were hands-off with?
Huh.
That's a really good question. It's hard because you and I have theoretically touched just about everything. But like for me, I really like the contributions I made to Park Street. I love the Monkey Biz Bakery and that corner right there. That has never been touched. Like, that just stayed there. You fixed up the beer garden, and we actually made the theater look like a theater. But that's all my, like, you laugh, but like, I still love that facade of the theater, and I still love those buildings. I am most happy with that. I'm most glad I got to do that.
Okay. I would say South Side for me, because I got to add on to Mineral's work, but then also I got to do a lot of Vengeance, which was like the big freaking middle finger to Southside. And that kind of made it a little fun. I got to do Rickety Cricket, that whole kind of chaotic area. That was a lot of fun.
So that's the area you were most glad you worked on. Yeah, I think the lighting package and the sound package in Southside. Yeah, you can tell you were really having a great time there.
Well, yeah, I was having a great time until I realized there's a limit to that. I can't.
That sucks.
You can't put sound effects in every place because then the game just stops loading them in. Whoops.
So what are you glad that you were kind of hands off
Rapids.
After you've destroyed them, yes.
Yes.
I was trying to think of one. Yes, spot on. Rapids.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ruble.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was awful.
And backstage. I'm glad I didn't have to touch backstage, because that's got to be meticulous, and that's got to be really well thought and real, and that's not a strength.
And people who are better at that did that. So.
Yes. Very glad I was hands. You notice I didn't even fight the backstage stuff. I was like, do it.
That's right.
Yeah. Coasters, I want to be good at coasters, and I'm getting better, but when all these coasters were built, I was really, really bad. So, and talking about taking a long time to admit that, it takes a long time to admit that even though you really want to be good at it, you're not.
Well, it took me a long time to trust that the people that were working in the park were seeing my vision, and then once that started to fall into place, it made it a lot easier to be hands off. It made it a lot easier to be excited about the things that I didn't know were coming.
Rather than dreading them. if we knew everything that was going to happen, and if we knew how it was going to end up, would we do it again?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It would make it a lot easier to do it again.
Yeah, if we knew we were going to have a completed park and we were going to make a whole bunch of friends and a community out of all this, and get to go to Cedar Point, and I think
it's because we didn't know that it actually turned out better. If we had known that, we probably would have effed it up somehow.
Alternate timeline and all that.
Exactly. No, there's nothing but positives that came out of this process.
Yeah. I agree completely. So, did we intend to build? Was our intention always to build such a huge park? And when did we realize to stop expanding? When the park really started to struggle to load is when we...
We got up to about like 3-minute load times. That's when it was like, this is getting a little bad. And then 4 minutes, then 5 minutes, then yeah.
Yeah, and like for me, it was knowing that we were gonna have like 7-ish, 8-ish coasters. That's a lot for a family-owned park like we were planning. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't think. Sorry, kid came in again. So yeah, I think we realized we should stop expanding. When you said when we just deleted Le Voyageur.
When I finally gave up on my dream of having Le Voyageur. It gets worse every time.
Le Voyageur.
Le Voyageur.
It's for you, Leo.
It pretty much cemented the fact that the park had to be smaller.
So no, I don't think we meant to build a huge park.
No,
it's not a huge. Like if we had built it, if we didn't stretch it out so much, it wouldn't have been so big.
Yeah, it'd be smaller. If it had constraints, if it had like I don't know, like a housing development and maybe like a city area, then yeah.
And that's why, if you notice, that's what I've started to do with some of my smaller projects. Is like you can't leave this area, go, and that makes it so much easier and gives you a good set of little puzzles. That's what made Peregrine so good.
Well, in classic bro style, you decided to get everybody else to do your work for you.
Yeah, it's turning out, not in the actual park, but the rest of the file's turning out really, really nice. How hard is it to deal with Mike constantly overthrowing what you did?
I know, right?
Verbatim.
God.
Right? What an ass that guy is.
Jeez,
Forever ass.
The worst.
It was
choose your words carefully.
it was hard at first because like I am the eternal, like I want to please, I want to do things right, and I hate conflict. And so I'm kind of a wet noodle in that way where I'll just be like, oh, okay. And the thing that saved your ass is that, yeah, it always did look way better. And the thing that saved your ass is you never deleted what I did. Mm-hmm. You never replaced what I did. You just moved it. Mm-hmm. And that's a big deal.
Made maybe some alterations or something like that.
Not enough to the character of the building. Like when you altered the theater and the beer garden, that was not an issue at all. Mm-hmm. No, that was my biggest. That's what helped me not get upset. Is first it always looked better, and then knowing that you were going to take what I made and apply it in a better position, I was okay with that. Once I wrapped my head around that idea. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I'm doing with Summerdale right now. I'm taking all these ideas and I'm trying to piece it together, like the Christmas Village last year. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody got upset that I moved their stuff around. I mean, because that was always the intention. Once I started thinking like, okay, I'm going to put it here, but it might go somewhere else, but it'll still be there, I was fine with that.
Once you realized I wasn't Thanosing your work so much.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was a touchy point, so I was very careful on how.
And we always were more careful with guest work than we were with my stuff. Which, as it should be.
Except for, like, Kinderly. Like, I literally moved it all.
Ripped it apart. But
it
again,
was so bad.
Changed.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It just was not. It was in direct conflict with the way that the park was.
What you wanted.
Actually, the way that the park was developing.
You had it planned. The way you developed it.
Because it was I don't know, it was like trying to be like this one single path down to Le Voyageur. And that's not how we were doing the park anymore. So, sorry, Kinderly.
Okay.
I mean, obviously he wasn't so upset because he came back and did some more stuff.
Yeah, that's true. All together, what area do you like the most, and which area do you like the least? Oh boy. The least for me is probably Frontier Village.
Okay.
Even though there's some really cool parts there. As a cohesive whole, I don't like it very much.
I think I dislike the most the area between Firestorm and Grasshopper, or in Frontier Village. I'll include Grasshopper in there. Because it is so... It's wonky. Not in a good way.
Dead space. Yeah, no, yep. That's because part of that was we moved that village around so much. All that frontier stuff. Yeah. Okay, favorite part. Favorite area or favorite part?
Phoenix and the Flume. That valley right there.
Okay. I was going to say the way Vengeance just doesn't give a shit about Southside.
That's pretty good too.
I just love that juxtaposition. And I think that's my favorite part of the whole project. So, yeah, I think so. So which bro had us most surprised after we got the park back? I think Wing's first go.
Yes.
What did he do? What did he do his first? Oh, when he fixed our train. And when we screwed him because of your computer.
Yeah,
was on the fritz.
it was dying at that point.
That sucked. Yeah, but no, that was when we got that back. Like we knew he had made us all the stuff for the museum already, but then we brought him on to do some of that work, and not only did he fix our train. Oh, what's bigger, that? Or then when he completely just did the entire surroundings of the park.
I mean, it's hard to decide between the two. They were both pretty transformational.
It's him.
Yeah, him.
Wings and strings.
He was probably the most. Yeah, the most guessed.
The most guessed.
The most guessed, yeah. He did the most. Like, he did that freaking outer area of NoNameLandia. Not the second time around, the first time around, where he had the nature trail and the peak and everything.
Yeah, and he also did the parking lot as far as we thought it was going to go. Yep.
He made all the bridges. He made them all make sense. He made the layout make sense. And, like, the first time around was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then we knew that was happening, and he still blew it away the second time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Not to crap on any of the other guests, because every step was pretty transformational. But he kind of knocked it out.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so how do you maintain your motivation? We don't.
Sometimes we don't.
It took us 3 years to get this. Yeah, but give it to other people to do.
Yeah. Kind of.
No, but it's true. That's how you get a project this big. Trying to do this like Conifer Slopes is just, I mean, come on. And your parks, they go through fits and stops and starts.
Yeah, they do.
But it takes a village, and having 7, 8, however many hands in this park has made it feasible and made it exciting to get it back, and has pushed us then to go work on it. Especially when we were like like I said, the 20s are the prime Brocoasters. Like when we're getting the park back from a guest and we're excited and we just work our tails off and then show it off, and then the next person, that's when it's great. And so feeding off each other is how we maintained our motivation.
Absolutely. And even in the early stages, that's what maintained motivation.
Yeah. Wanting to do really, really well because you're going to, for someone else that you regard, like for me at least, someone that is really, really good and you're building with them and you don't want to be the weak link. Yeah. So that's how I did. So was there any big tension between us? And if so, why? We've kind of already touched on that. I hate conflict, so no, I would just bury it deep. Don't worry, it's all good.
I felt that around episode 24, that was when I pretty much dropped off the face of the earth. That was a moment in which we were like, are we gonna continue this or not?
Yes, when you went, you disappeared for a really long time.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know what that one was, that's No-gasm. That's the one where we go around.
Oh, I don't want to do this. Did a thing.
That's right.
Yeah, that was rough. That little patch was rough. Yep.
I think we sometimes, because we have an audience, we sometimes think we have to perform, like we have to have these things out. But creativity doesn't work that way, especially creativity in your free time. That's not your job. Creativity sometimes just drops off the face of the earth. And so you're not going to get anything done.
And that's why this will always be a hobby to us and not a job, because we can't work when we're not creatively motivated.
No, because it doesn't produce good content.
Right? You can feel it. Orgasm. I mean, you can feel it. Yeah. And then we made the best of it. It was pretty funny, but it was it wasn't a shining moment for the series.
You did a thing.
Yeah. But no, I think it's been pretty. I think the thing that's kept us from going at it is we've known each other for so very long. 2007. Like, holy crap. That's a long time.
It's a while.
And I think that's what kind of made us successful and made people gravitate towards the series and spurn the community because of our dynamic. Two legit, not just hanging out for the first time on episode 1, just, knowing each other for a really long time, working against each other in competitions. And yeah, I think that's what really helped us.
Imagine if we did the series like across the table from each other. Like it would just be so much more instead of like stepping on each other and stuff like that. But we just have that kind of natural bond. Not to make this too homo.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, but it's I told at work, I was like, I'm meeting a friend that I've never met before. How do you meet a friend you've never met before? Well, let me tell you. Known each other for 12 years and finally met face to face.
That's right. So. And it was weird that you were like, I can't deal with this right now.
I was like, get out of here. Nope. Like, I just heard you, as soon as you, like, because Commando opened the door and I was like, I knew it was him. I was like, just say something. And he talks like, okay, you're Commando. And then I saw you, and I was like, and your voice came out of your face.
It came out of my face.
This can't happen. This can't happen. You don't look like Lemon Grab.
No, I don't look like Lemon Grab. Not exactly.
No, not quite. So. So, what are our thoughts? And I made this question last. What are our thoughts on Brocoaster spurring a whole community?
Pre-tits.
That's elegant AF.
It's awesome.
Mind-numbing.
Yeah.
It's mind-numbing.
It's the community we've wanted for so long, but didn't have.
It's the reason I don't visit any other site, whether it's forum or Facebook group or other servers. I really don't participate in any other server on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts to think about the two of us jamokes just jacking around could garner a community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just like Mike and John are in the chat and everyone, we have a community.
It's not that way anymore at all. It's pretty much its own self-sustaining unit.
And we're just members.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least that's how it feels. We're just other members. And it's kind of weird, like, because we've had a bunch of people who've come in since the Planet Zoo beta,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of them are like, "Oh, Mass Bandit," like, "Hey, just chill. We're all just people here. I just happen to be here, So.
Oh, look at my celebrity status. Oh, look at everybody that's coming to say, look at me.
Everyone loves me. I'm spectacular.
Eat a shit cake.
Eat a shake cake?
No, eat a shit cake.
Oh, a shake cake. A cake shake. I would love a cake shake right now. Can't get
Is
cake
that
shakes
a
down.
thing?
Yeah, I got one on my way to Cedar Point at Portillo's. They take a piece of chocolate cake and they make a chocolate shake and they blend up so you get little bits of cake with everything.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Oh, it's great. It's so rich I couldn't finish the whole thing.
Oh my god.
I had to check it. Yeah.
No, but really, I mean, all we have to do, we're admins technically, but sometimes we play a little bit, and then sometimes we have to be a little like, no, let's not go this direction.
I'm just happy we have a pretty much docile community where we don't have to put out fires very frequently. We did like the first week we were open, and then it was pretty obvious. Like, nah, we're two guys in their 30s that don't.
Yeah, we're not into memes, all right.
No, we've kind of aged out of a lot of the Discord culture. We've aged out of it. So if you're looking for a community that just wants to hang out and chat and share cool stuff without all the fuckery, for lack of a better word, yeah, that's why we are who we are. And I don't mind the occasional memes and stuff. It's just we don't need a chat for it.
No. No. And a lot of people that come in are like, oh yeah, this is like the most active Planet Coaster Discord. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Cool. Another little pat on the back for ourselves. We're so spectacular.
What's nice is that we feel like we have cultivated a community that has basically decided to monitor itself, which is really easy to do now.
Yeah, I was really a little worried when we opened it. I was like, what's going to happen? Are we going to have to like people? And we've got great mods. I mean, all of our bros that are mods are fantastic. They keep things in check when we're not around. So,
but I think people just want to keep it the way it is. So they sometimes they do the job that we couldn't all do, like us admins and all the mods. So we have a really awesome community.
It's been a shock, and it's been just great. Wouldn't change a thing about it. Really glad it happened the way it did, and hopefully we're around for quite a while. So
yeah. Or
Final
Zoo
thoughts?
will take us under.
Yeah, one of those two. That's the only. There's no middle.
Final thoughts. This has been an awesome time. I've learned a lot. It's been, good lord, like 2 years of my life poured into this project. 3?
3.
No.
We started in 16. Yeah, we started in November of 16.
Oh god. All right, 3.
Well, yeah, but like the last year has been pretty much nothing. But
it's been a lot of preparing for the Cedar Point trip.
Final thoughts for me is thank you. Like, seriously, I don't think either of us thought this was going to... Like, you watch those first few episodes, we're doing this for us, nobody's watching this. And there was at some point where we're like, we need to stop saying that because we're going to start pissing off the people that actually enjoy watching this.
Yeah.
And I remember we were so excited if we could get like 1,000 views by the time before the next video came out.
Yeah.
And then it was, can we get 1,000 videos in like 3 days? Can we get 1,000 views in a day? And that was like, it was fun to do that. And to know that now we are we're here. We've learned the game while building this project. And just in time to have to learn a new game.
Yeah, to start a new project, to do this all over again.
That's the way it works. But I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so grateful for all the people we've met and all the friends we've made through this and through this game. So bring on the zoo.
Yeah, the Planet Coaster experience has been really awesome as compared to the RCT3 experience, and it's probably because we were younger and it was a different demographic.
Yeah, do you think that the demographics just aged up with us?
But it's been lovely. This game has been lovely. I've never felt like I need to well, sometimes we think we need to burn down the server, but it's few and far between.
True. So let's chat about Season Zoo then.
And that's where everybody can click off this video.
There you go. Nobody cares. But the game drops in a little under a month.
Yep.
We're going to hit the ground running right away, I think.
Yep.
And our plan is on the summer vacation after Cedar Point, actually. Spent some time in Chicago and took a trip to both zoos in Chicago. Actually, I was fortunate enough to hit up Brookfield and Lincoln Park. And Lincoln Park, if you don't know, is a free zoo. It's just donations. It's public land. It's in Lincoln Park, a big giant park on the near north side of Chicago. And we went, and I hadn't been there in forever. And I remember the animals all looking kind of sad because it's a free zoo. It's an old zoo. It's like late 1800s zoo. So you're talking like pachyderm house, which is just cages and concrete. The animals aren't in there anymore. They've all gotten revamped to at least humane standards. But what I really noticed was all the lush gardening. Just fantastic. And the architecture. And I was just snapping pictures. And I did we need to build this. And so I sent it to Mike. And I was like, hey, let's do this. And you were all over it.
Yeah, it was a lot more... The vistas were incredible with that zoo. That's what kind of
so we're going to be modeling our zoo off of Lincoln Park Zoo. So it'll have that history, that 100+ year history. So old architectural buildings and lush, well-developed gardens and full-grown trees and lots of shade. But it'll be a zoo in transition because one of the things I noticed is the lions weren't there. They had an outdoor exhibit that was more modern, but it wasn't good enough. So the lions are currently at some other zoo while they build a brand new habitat for them. And the old pachyderm house, or whatever it was, is now a 5D theater and gift shop. It's a certain level of jankiness that I did this is like I like this.
Yeah, I like
but
this.
then their gorilla habitat is state of the art, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. It's the best one of the zoos I've seen recently. It's my favorite one. Yeah, so there's that juxtaposition.
So that gives us
what we're gonna
that gives us a lot of room to kind of wiggle and make established stuff, but also make stuff that was established that is no longer there, or it's been repurposed, and then also to make something really cool and like super sensitive to the needs of the animals, and like an entire biome expansion or something like that.
Right. Like I think. Bottom line, it should look like a timeline of zoo history in the last 100 years. And I think that's something we can both get behind because architecturally and all that stuff is something that transcends both games. So I think that'll be really fun. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, when I say that I didn't want to really play zoo, I didn't want to play zoo in the way that the beta kind of rolled out and everybody was making zoos. It's not the kind of zoo that I want to make.
No, and we just didn't have, you don't have the time. You got 2 weeks and...
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't making YouTube videos, I would have just been unlocking everything I could have and building the most ramshackle stuff I could have because I ain't got no time to spend 4 days. Like that dome, the thing I made that's really a hot mess, let's be honest. It took 2 days to build that. And I'm talking like 3-4 hours a day for 2 days. That would be a week. I don't
know why you thought that doing a dome would not take that long. Even in Planet Coaster, it would take that long.
I know. I knew it would, but I wanted to kind of go out with a wow. But then I released it too late and it kind of did So anyway, that's what we're looking for. So there will be new Brocoaster in about a month.
Yeah?
Ish. Yeah.
Brocoaster
we're calling it
Season
officially Planet Planet Brocoaster Season Zoo.
That's right.
You heard it here first.
We're going to lose the planet, but yeah.
No, we're still Planet Brocoaster.
All right.
Or no, we're just Brocoaster Season Zoo.
I'm the one that does the thumbnail, so we'll see.
Oh, well then, I get... Here we go again. I guess for the last time. Holy crap. We're done.
We're done.
Wow. That's going to do it for us on Planet Brocoaster. That's a wrap on the series.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap on the park. The park will be up for download as well.
All right.
Well,
We're not going to say when. It will be.
I would assume it would be in the link in the description, but...
Oh, right. Yeah, let's... Yep. There you
go. It's in the description. Maybe.
Because, we're really good at that, too.
Yeah, we're really good at doing that. So, yeah, but for the last time, that's going to do it for us, guys. So,
at least for
Mass
season
Bandit,
1.
Yeah, for Mass Bandit.
And N7. Oof.
You almost forgot there. And all of our bros and guests. And all of our citizens on the nation.
Ryan. And...
Oh, you didn't have this planned. But I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to leave him out. Oh,
Wings.
Dude. Oh, my God. And Ryan.
I got Ryan already.
Oh, okay. Ryan Wings Silv.
Mineral.
Kinderly Mineral Ruble.
Yes.
Is there anybody else?
And everybody else, like Hydra that made the wall, and Sergey that made a lamp at some point, and...
Thanks to everyone for an awesome community, and we'll see you guys in about a month with something brand new. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.